At a high level, if you say, what are the biggest lessons for angel investing? In my experience, I've watched people enter the angel investing game. And the mistake that I think are the most common are that they put too much money into too small a set of companies. So they write $500,000 check into one company, and then they write a $250,000 check into another company, and then 12 months go by. So 12 months later, he has a portfolio of two companies where he wrote big checks. A much better strategy would be to invest 50K into many companies, or write small checks of 25, distribute that risk, and find a way to invest more money into those that are going up the best. So get into 25 companies, have a lot of information about them, and put more money into those that are going to go, that you know are going to go up in value. And that's not easy to do if you have a day job and you're investing at night or on the weekends. So one common answer is to join an angel group like AngelsGlobal or Sandhill Angels or New York Angels. And if you start working as a group and you're finding one or two deals a week, then that means that you're finding like 50 to 100 a year. If you join a group of 50 people, now you're seeing thousands of deals. One person's an expert here on this, she's an expert on something else. You start to source deals as a group. You vet and do the due diligence investigating as a group. And when you invest, you put more money together. So the company gets the $1 million or the 500K it needs, but you just wrote a check for 50K or 10K. And then over time, you're adding value to that group because you're part of a group of people. I think that teamwork, a team can accomplish more typically than an individual. To make good return investing in the stock market without going to jail for insider trader information, to me seems like a dilemma. You either know something that the whole market does not know, or you're not breaking the law. So the whole thing looks difficult and challenging to me. If I know something about Apple Computer stock, do the other people know? Whereas on the private angel side, it's okay. If you know something that other people do not, it's a privately held company. And in fact, if you're helping the company, that's viewed by society as a good thing. So our governments like it when, as angel investors or venture capitalists, we know things that others don't and we fund it. And then if I introduce a startup here to a partner in China that maybe angel invests with me and they give it distribution into China, the sales are going to go up. I'll be putting more money into the company at that point. This starts to become a strategy to do better than the stock market. So you asked me if I think that angel investors can make a strong return. Absolutely. But they should avoid mistakes, which I talked about earlier, which are investing too much money into too few a set of companies. And that's the classic mistake, that someone goes from making a lot of money, they quit their job, so now they're no longer making the money or getting expenses paid. They start investing a lot into a few companies by themselves. I think the smart thing to do is have a strategy to have access to very good deal flow, have a strategy to have access to good due diligence to really investigate what's true and what's not true. Look for the facts. And then have a strategy to add value. And if you're adding value really well to the startup, you're also getting information. And so now we have the advantages of the private market of I'm seen like a hero that I add value. What I'm really doing is getting lots of information and making very smart follow-on investment decisions. So this is where I recommend invest in a broad group of companies, get lots of information, and put more money into those you believe are the real winners. And you'll probably do better than putting money into the stock market where either everybody knows what you know or you're going to prison. Well, first of all, I know very little about China, and I'm hoping to change that with 2 trips planned in May and June. But I do know a lot about the United States and the European ecosystems. Clearly, the most evolved ecosystem is Silicon Valley. And I would say today, the second most evolved ecosystem is New York City. When it comes to Europe, I think London has become the most evolved, although we've seen lots of ecosystems evolve over there. I think it's important to define what are the key elements. And one element is investors. Startups need money, and people cost money. So having investors not only for your first money into the startup, but having an investor that's ready to fund your company at every stage, from the very beginning to the middle to the end, that's the most important thing. I would say the second big element of an ecosystem, and it doesn't need to necessarily be in the same place, but it's good if it can be. That's someone to buy your company or enable the investors and the founders to get money out of the company. So that's going to be companies like having Alibaba, Tencent, that are able to acquire your company. So that's an important one. And of course, there's bankers, lawyers, executive search headhunters that help find people to work there, and just all the people, engineers, capable people. 我在广州天水学院念